Welcome to Married with a Life. It's episode 3 of our series, Why Some Husbands Do Not Help Their Wives. It's getting interesting. So welcome on board, especially for those of you joining for the first time. I really appreciate you, and I can assure you that you're gonna have fun with this series. So please let me know where you are watching from. If you're a Malian, please leave it in the comments. If you're a Swalian, leave it in the comments. Which country are you watching from? And please share this video right now. You guys are not doing very well at all with the sharing. So please just click on the thumbs up whilst we are waiting for more people to join us. Click on the thumbs up. And then also click on the share button to invite someone to join us. Please do that quickly and let me know where you're watching from. I want to feel you in the comment section. You are warmly welcome to episode 3 of Why Some Husbands Do Not Help Their Wives, especially at home. Today we're going to be looking at some of the responses that people left on the survey for me. So I have pinned the survey on the Married with a Life Facebook page. So if you check the page, you'll see the survey. I just want to get to know more about what is happening in homes to help me deal with this topic in the right way. I don't want to be biased, so thankfully some of you have really shared some personal stuff, which is good. And I'm getting a lot of reasons why the men are not helping. And some are talking a lot about the wives. Okay, so hopefully from next episode, we'll be dealing more about the things that the wives are doing wrong. Okay, some of the things that the wives are doing, which is really making it difficult for the men to assist them at home. We did say that upbringing is one of the things. Some of them don't know how to do it because they were not brought up that way. Right from childhood, they saw mom and their siblings, the females, doing everything. So automatically, they've got this mindset that the home is for the women. Okay, so that has really gone a long way to impact them negatively. And then we also talked about culture, society. Even we, the women, we react against the men who want to help. We start calling them names. Somebody will say, are you still paid to be doing this? This is supposed to be a woman's job. That kind of thing. So it's really impacting the men negatively. And we also talked about mindset, the mindset that people have, which, especially when it comes to childcare, it's very interesting how two young people who are very innocent, naive about childcare, they've never had a child before, they get married, and somehow the man is expecting this innocent girl to know how to take care of the child. Okay, so they tend to leave everything to the girl, which is not very nice because obviously this is new to both of us. So these are some of the things that we've touched on from episode 1 to 2. So today, episode 3, we're going to look at some of the other reasons why the men are not helping. And I'm not going to touch on the things they said about the women because I want it to be from episode 4. It's going to be a very balanced series. So we're talking about the men and then we'll talk about the women, what they are doing wrong. And I'm so grateful for those of you who were able to take part in the survey. The survey is still ongoing. So if you go on the link, you can just click on it. It doesn't register your name, so we wouldn't know who is saying what. Okay, just pour your heart, be very honest. If you've got a personal experience, maybe something that happened in your marriage, or you've seen it in your parents' marriage, or in your siblings' marriage, or even your friend's marriage, you can share it. There will be no name for me to mention. Okay, so you are safe. So the husband feeling that it is the duty of the wife So for example, sweeping, scrubbing, is something a man should not do. So these are some of the mindsets. The man feels like it's the duty of the wife to do those things, to take care of the house. Some men think that they are the head and therefore needs to be served and not the other way around. They are the head. I don't think that, and this again comes to mindset. Because when we look at the head, okay, the human, let's take even just this human head, the physical head. This head does most of the things, it controls most of the things that the rest of the body does. This head has the brain inside to think, to send signals to different parts of the body. It's got the eye to see, it's got the nose to smell, it's got the mouth to speak. So your head is a massive part of the entire body, and the head does a lot. So if you say because you are a head, you just want to be served, you cross your leg and sit down, it means you don't even understand what is headship. Because even if you bring it to the physical, this head is what is doing a lot of the things that makes it possible for the rest of the body to function. So, being a head is not a reason why you should not help your wife at home. In fact, one of the reasons why I respect my husband a lot is because of the help he gives me at home. So those of you who are thinking if I help my wife, she will disrespect me, it's not entirely true. If you treat a woman very well and you make her life comfortable, she should be a very wicked woman to misbehave or to treat you badly. And we will come to the women later on to correct them. But being a head means your responsibilities are even more. Okay, it's more. So don't neglect the home. Don't leave the home to just the woman. It will be too much work. And the other thing is, it says it's a hidden attitude shown after marriage, but never came up during the time of the dating. So this one is very difficult because, especially if you're a Christian, cohabitation is not something that is encouraged. And personally, I don't encourage it. Okay. So it'd be difficult for me to know if he's going to be helping me at home, if he knows how to cook, if he knows how to clean. I wouldn't know because I've not lived with him. So it's a dicey one. And unless, for instance, when we were courting, we had a schedule whereby Saturdays, so every Saturday, this Saturday, if I visit my then boyfriend, okay, if I visit him, my fiance, if I visit him this Saturday, I'll go there the whole day, from morning to like evening, and then I come back home. And then the next Saturday, he also comes to my end. So we had that thing that we were doing during our courtship, and our courtship was very short. So most of the time when I go to his place, he will make breakfast and he will make it in front of me. Okay, he will make the breakfast and we both eat. He will make the lunch, we'll both eat, and then dinner. So it helped me to know that he can cook to some extent. Okay, but if you are courting, especially the singles that are watching, if you are courting and you haven't got that opportunity to be visiting your boyfriend once in a while, or visit her, your girlfriend once in a while, you wouldn't know some of the house chores that they are very good at. It would be very difficult to know. So this one, I wouldn't dwell too much on it because we all have the other hidden, attitudes that shows up when we get married. And these are things that you even keep discovering as the years progresses. It says a fragile relationship would end when a man decides to do women's work at home, because the lady would now intend to abuse that meekness. The reason why I'm touching on this is because it says when a man decides to do women's work. So again, this person has got that kind of mindset that some things are for women. I understand the part whereby sometimes the women will now say, okay, this is now your job. Will now say, okay, this is now your job. I understand. I will come back to that. But if you are saying it's a woman's work, who says cleaning is a woman's work? If you come to the Western world, you will see a lot of men at the toilet cleaning. That is their job. And so the women. So cleaning is not a woman's job. It's not a woman's work at home to do. It's a human work, if I should put it that way. So for instance, there are men who are not married yet. They probably are in their 50s. Even some people in their 60s, they are not married and they've never married. So if you tell me that it's a woman's work to cook, so that man who is not married and is 50 years, how are they eating? Don't they cook their own food? They cook their own food. If it's a woman's work, then he should go and get a house help to come and live in the house, who is a woman, to be cooking. He still eats. So as long as you can eat, as long as you want to live in a tidy home, there's nothing like a woman's work. If you are not married, you would have done it. Because if you don't clean your house, there will be germs all over, you fall sick. So it's a human core value, a human thing that you clean, that you wash your clothing, that you clean the bathroom, that you mop the house, and all of that. It's just when you get married, we work hand in hand to make the life easy for both of us. Okay, so that is why sometimes in some homes there will be roles whereby we say, okay, you are good at this. For instance, in my house, in my marriage, we don't have a specific role that is specific for me or for my husband. We look at who is good at what. If my husband is good at cleaning the kitchen, which he's actually very good at, when he's cleaning and wiping surfaces in the kitchen, he does it better than I do. But it's not his role. If you want to clean, he can clean. If I am cleaning, it's fine. So we don't have that specific role, but in some homes, they do. And this is just to support each other. Marriage is a support system whereby things that you would have done on your own and probably struggled, you've now got another hand that can help you to make it easy for your life. So there is nothing like this is a woman's. If that's the case, then what about the homes whereby the women are the ones providing? It's not a woman's job to provide. Would you agree to that? It's not a woman's job. But many homes, the women are the ones running the home financially. They are the ones that will do the businesses. They are the ones that will go to work. They are the ones that will bring the money and support the husband. So we need to be very careful when we now say this is the woman's job, that is the man's job, and that kind of thing. Let's try. My advice would be, if you are a couple, try and work hand in hand. Okay, where you are good at, don't relegate that position to the woman because you are the man. If you can cook, there are a lot of chefs who are males and they cook good food. Some people are not chefs, but the food they will cook, you the woman, you can't, because they were taught. Okay, so it comes back to the fact that many people are not taught these things, so that they feel like, because I was not taught and the girl was taught, let her do it. Okay, that's where the problem is coming from. But as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing like this is the woman's role, this is the man's role. We are married. We are here to support each other, to build our marriage, to build our home, to build our lives. So if you work together, one of the purpose, if not the only purpose of marriage, is unity. Okay, The two becoming one flesh. You become one flesh. So you work in unity, teamwork, to make sure that everything goes smoothly for both of you. Let's look at another reason. Okay, somebody also said that some of the men, they have no idea of the task at hand. It could be due to no idea of the task at hand. So some feel like, oh, but taking care of the house is not a big deal. It's not a lot of work. It is a lot of work. It is a lot of work, especially if the woman is working or she's got a business that she has to be talking to people or going to places to distribute, or she has to be promoting it. It's a lot of work. The house chores can be a lot of work. And if she has children, that even makes it more work. Please, the house chores is a lot of work. So somebody also said that sometimes the men want to help, but they don't know how to help, like what to do in the house to help, which is very funny. How come we don't know what to do in the house? You see the plates are there, and I think the annoying one would be when the man finish eating and she put the plate. He just leaves it in the sink for the wife to come and clean. Come on. You finish your plate, you can wash it. Unless, of course, like the way I explained last time, if you are a very wealthy and rich man who has already made your money, you don't need your wife to do anything. You don't need your wife's financial contribution. And you can afford to hire house helps or even professionals to come and cook. Then I don't see why you should be doing it, okay? You've worked hard to earn that position. But if you're a young couple like me, like us, just like I know most of our audience, Moalians are young couples, you probably haven't got to that stage yet, whereby you want to now cross your leg and you expect your wife to work, bring money in, and you still wanted to do everything. It's not fair. It's not the right thing to do. Okay, so if you are not in that position, you are not in that position, and you have to cut your coat according to your cloth, not even according to your size. If your cloth is small and you are big, you have to find a way to make the cloth work. Okay, so don't say you don't know what to do. You finish eating, you can wash your plate. And I'm going to show you some of the things, but part of the survey was for people to state, those who are helping, they should state the things that they do at home to help their wives. And I was very surprised to see a lot of men are actually helping. They are helping. You know, I had so many people saying, I help my wife. I do help my wife. Okay, so they've listed some of the things that they do to help their wives. So those of you who are saying you don't know what to do, this can be some of your examples. So washing utensils, that is when you finish eating plate, you can wash the plate. Or, you know, even if your wife finished eating and you want to wash the plate, there's nothing wrong with that. I wash plate, my husband wash plate. Okay. In fact, because of the kids, you know, when he's gone to work and I'm with the kids, this one is pulling, this one is pulling. Sometimes I'm just about to wash the plate and one child will be crying and I have to go and attend to him or her. So the day can end and my husband gets home and the sink is there. At the early stages of our marriage, before we had the kids, one of the things we didn't do was to leave plate. It was a taboo. My husband doesn't like it, leaving plate in the sink. So you finish eating, you wash it. But now when he comes and the plate is there, he will wash it. He doesn't say, oh, why didn't you wash it the whole day? He will wash it. And sometimes I like to make sure that the house is in a good order before he gets home. So sometimes I will push, and if the child has to cry, as long as he's not going to die or he doesn't look stressed, I will just I've got a rocker. I will just put the child in the rocker. There is a chair, and then put them very close to the sink. So they are watching me whilst I'm cleaning. Sometimes that's what I do. But if I'm not able to do it, when he comes back, he does it. So support each other. Support each other in that way, washing the utensils. Very, very important. You can wash the clothing. Unfortunately, if you don't have a washing machine, and I think, personally, I think that marriage in Africa can be more difficult, especially if you don't have money. Because if you don't have washing machine and you have to wash things with your hands, it can make marriage difficult, especially if you have children. You have to wash their things, wash your things, wash your husband's things, and especially if your husband doesn't help you to wash. There are couples that both of them will sit down. This one will wash, pass it to the other one, and they will rinse it. You know, they work hand in hand, so it makes it easy. But if you don't have a washing machine, you are the only person doing it as a wife. It can be very tiring. So the men, maybe if you don't like washing, try and surprise your wife with a washing machine, especially if you're in Africa. In the Western world, in the UK, for instance, you can get a washing machine as a contract. Okay, so you can pay it in installment. I'm sure maybe some part of Africa, you have those deals whereby you can pay in installment, and then maybe within a year or two, you finish paying. So in the Western world, these things are very easy. So I think that marriage in Africa can be difficult because of some of these things. So yeah, washing is one of the ways you can help your wife. And then sweeping, here in the UK, I don't see anybody sweeping unless those whose work is to sweep outside. The government pays them or the council pays them. But at home, you are probably going to be mopping the floor, if it's a wooden floor or a stone floor, or you're going to be hoovering if it's a carpeted house. Okay, so those are the things you can hoover to help. You can clean, mop the floor to help them. You can iron. Okay, for instance, I don't like ironing. I've said this a number of times. I don't like ironing at all. Even though I still try to iron my things, but it's normally when we're going to church, the day before, my husband will say, "What are you guys wearing?" And then I have to think quickly and get something out so that he irons them. So the men, if you like ironing, even if you can't cook, and ironing is the only thing you can do. You iron your wife's clothing, you iron yours. You can iron the bed sheets. You can iron your children's clothing. It will go a long way to help. Okay. So those of you who are saying, "I don't know what to do to help," ironing, very, very important. This person says fetching water. So obviously the person is in Africa. So if you're in Africa and you have to go and fetch water, that's one of the things you can do as well. Cooking meals. Do you know that it's very easy to cook? I'm speaking to you men. It's very, very easy. Nowadays, you go on YouTube, whatever food you want to cook, just go on YouTube and type it there. It will come up. You see different ones. Take your time, sit down and watch them. And then tell your wife, "I'm going to surprise you. I want to cook pounded yam or cook spaghetti bolognese, or I want to cook shepherd's pie." Okay, easily you can learn it on YouTube. So it's not too late. Your mother probably didn't teach you, your father probably didn't teach you when you were growing up, or you lived in a home where there were so many girls. So obviously the girls were taking care of everything and you didn't learn. It's still not too late to learn. It's not too late. Okay, my husband goes to the internet to search for recipes and cook. I do the same. So I'm doing the cooking series. Sometimes I go on YouTube and learn some things, and then I do it. Okay, especially when I was on maternity leave. I'm still on maternity leave anyway because I've had baby number 2 recently. So if during my maternity leave, I spent a lot of time learning how to cook new recipes, because if you're not careful as a wife, you can be cooking the same food all the time. But rice, especially rice, can be cooked in so many ways, different ways. But if you don't know, you just be doing rice and plain rice and stew, jollof rice. That's the only thing you'll be doing. So go on the internet and make use of YouTube to learn how to cook if you don't know how to do it. It will really, really help your wife as a male. Preparing the ingredients for cooking. And I think this is also another thing that is so easy that you can do as a husband, even if you don't want to do anything at home. When your wife is cooking, you can go and chop the onions or chop the okra, or help her open the cans, the tomatoes. If it's the tomatoes, the ones in the can, you can help her just remove it, open it. What else? Yeah, the vegetables, you can chop it for her. And guess what? It will even bond you because you are in the kitchen at the same time. So whilst you are doing all of that, you can be talking, can be speaking and talking. How was your day? How did the day go? And so forth. Okay, so these things really will help you to bond with your wife. Laundry, okay, groceries, going out to buy the groceries. These are heavy stuff. Okay, so normally I will even encourage the men to do these things because they are heavy. When you go and buy those plenty meat and those plenty stuff from the market, the woman lifting it can be harder for her because men naturally have heavier muscles. They have stronger muscles than women. So this is one of the things that you can do. You can tell your wife, I'm very sorry, there's nothing else in this house that I'm really interested in to do, but I can go out and buy the groceries. And she will appreciate it. Okay, my husband does that as well. There was a guy I was chatting with on WhatsApp. I sent him one of the videos, and he actually was the one who suggested for me to do the survey, and I listened to him. So he was telling me that his wife does not even know where the laundry is because he does it. His wife has never gone out to buy groceries because he does it since they got married. Okay, so these are things that you can do to help each other. Setting the bed, when you get up from bed, you can lay the bed. Taking the trash, okay, those are also heavy stuff. You take the bin out. Cooking porridge or rice sometimes, carrying the baby, feeding baby, dressing baby, and changing diapers. These are things that men are saying they do to help their wives. They do these things. Okay, so the children, the babies or the kids, I know that especially if you've lived all your life in Africa and you are not a very learned or somebody who is willing to learn, you may just ignore your wife to be doing everything for the child. And this is why many of us grew up in Africa and we didn't have a good relationship with our fathers. So we were brought up to fear our fathers because they were never part of our growing up. Okay, they never changed our diapers, they never bathed us, they never put clothing. They provide, all right, but when it comes to feeding the baby, they don't want to they don't want to be a part of it. So we only know our fathers from afar, okay, which didn't help most of us. Some who were very involved in their children's life right from the beginning, you see that they bond so much with their kids. My daughter is closer to my husband than me. Apparently it's a girl's thing and they will grow out of it eventually, that's what I heard, but sometimes they grow with it. Okay, because there's nothing that my husband does not do for her. So even if you can't do anything at home, feed the child. You don't have the breast milk, the woman can pump the breast, he can pump the milk, and then take it and feed the child. Put it in the feeding bottle and feed the child. And guess what? Whoever feeds the child the most bonds more with the child. Okay, it's one of the things I'll talk about in one of my pregnancy series. Whoever feeds the child most bonds more with the child. So make sure that you are feeding the child. If it's formula that you are giving to the child, that is even easier. You can go and make it yourself. You learn how to mix the formula and then you feed the child with it. Learn how to change the child's pampers, their nappies. These are things that will help you so that as the child is growing, you are bonding with the child. They get comfortable with you. They are not going to be scared, oh, this is my dad. They see their dad and they start running away. No. So these are some of the things that the men are saying they do to help their wives. So those of you who don't have an idea of what to do, you can adapt, or you can copy some of these things. You can do the school runs. You take the child to school. Okay. Even if you don't know how to bath the child or prepare them for school, once your wife gets them ready, you can take them to school. If you have a car, it will be easier, depending on how far the school is. If you don't have a car, you can just walk the child to the school, and they love it when you walk with them, you hold their hand, and then whilst you are going, you are chatting with them. Okay, all of this will help you as a father to bond with your child. What else? Taking care of the kids when the wife is busy, and also cooking and washing. So for instance, my schedule is based on my husband's schedule. So the reason why this broadcast, I had to do it early, was supposed to be 7 p.m. and I changed the time. I did announce it. Normally when I'm doing the broadcast, my husband has to be around to take care of the kids. When he's doing something the same way, I have to take care of the kids. So there's a commitment. We just noticed that he's meant to be in church in the evening because he's in the choir. So we thought, okay, should we cancel today's episode? Should we cancel it? And eventually we just decided, okay, let me do it early so that he can take care of the kids. After that, he can go, and then, I take care of the kids. So when one person is busy, when your wife is busy, maybe she's cooking, you can keep the children and take care of the children. All of this will help the women. It will help the women. So I hope you are learning something. Arranging the room. Yes. Dusting the room. Okay, so there is something that you can do. There is something you can do at home. No matter how busy your schedule is, there is something that you can do at home. Okay, so the other reason why men are not helping is busy schedules or tight schedules. They get tired. My husband has got this shift, which we had to do it because we have decided to be the ones taking care of our kids. So we don't have a nanny, we don't have any babysitter. It's just the two of us doing everything. So we have to change our schedule, change the way we work. I work from home, but I'm currently on maternity leave. So my husband has to devise a way whereby he works long hours for some days, and then he gets some days off. Okay, so sometimes when he comes back, when he's finished with his long hours, he's thinking, oh, Peace has been the only one that has been taking care of the kids for all those days. So he's in a hurry to take over the kids. And I'm also thinking, he's been doing long hours for this number of days. Let him rest a bit before he starts attending to the kids. So when he comes back and he wants to help, I will say, you know what, go and sleep or go and rest. So the first day after his long hours, I try not to let him do anything, even though I'm still going to be tired, taking care of the kids. I try to just say, you rest, and then after that, he can help here and there, so that's what we do, just to make our life easy. So sometimes when you are couples, you've got to make huge sacrifices. I've learned this from Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo and his wife, Pastor Yemisi Ashimolowo. They said that if you want to have a successful parenting, especially in the Western world, and I think this can apply to any part of the world, both of you cannot do high-end jobs whereby all of you are out of the house and then somebody's taking care of your kids. If you do that, you'll be disadvantaged at some point. Okay, so one person needs to sacrifice to fully be there. So at every point, it's either both of us are around our children or one of us has to be there. We don't leave them anywhere apart from when my daughter has to go to the nursery and she goes for a few hours. That one, that she's in the hands of paid professionals who are teaching and she's learning. But apart from that, we've worked things out in such a way that it's hard work, but we still have to give the kids our full attention. So if you are both working back to back to back, this person is going, this one is coming, you get to the door, you take the key, and then the person goes, it will make your life, it'll feel as if you're always running and running and running and running, and you wouldn't have time for the kids. So this is just by the way, make sure that one person is around the kids. And if it means that you have to even work in the night so that during the day you'll be free, you have to do it. If you have to do full hours, long hours, so that you have some days off, you have to do it. If one person has to quit their job so that they can fully be around the kids, it's a sacrifice that will pay off. So I'm not gonna continue because the video is already getting very long. There was a question somebody asked. So one of the links that I posted on the Facebook page is for you to put your thoughts, the survey. Okay, so somebody has asked a question, which is very funny. I wanted to answer it in this episode, but it will make the video too long. So hopefully maybe from next week or after we finish this series, I can come back and be answering some of these questions. So the question is, how romantic are you? You seem to be sweet, yet a bit strict. And then he said, how do you get your husband to be involved in your personal affairs apart from him being willing to do that himself? What I mean is, him making his own decisions to be involved in your life. How do you convince him to do it? Or how do you convince him to do something for you? Especially when he seems to be busy or occupied. So I will try my best and answer this question in the next episode, episode 4, which is going to be on the 30th of October. It probably will be the same time, 7 p.m. But if anything changes, I will update the Facebook page and then we'll make it happen. So please share this live broadcast. What did you learn from this video? So somebody said, this is Aminata, beautiful program, keep the good work. Thank you. Yomife says, well done, sweet lady. Thank you. Guys, please leave a comment. What did you like about this video? What did you learn from this video? What are you taking away as a couple that you can implement to make sure that your wife is not too tired or your husband is not too tired? Okay. And I hope I've been able to give you guys some ideas on some of the things that you can do at home to help your wife. Hopefully next episode we'll be dealing more about the things that the wives are doing, which is hindering the men. So somebody shared a story on the survey that they decided to surprise their wife by cooking this sumptuous meal, and the wife came and she said, that is not how I do it. Who told you to do it? You should have waited for me to come. And since that day, he decided, now you can eat the kitchen. The kitchen is all yours, so he's left everything to her. So these are some of the attitudes, some of the things that women do that makes their husbands not wanting to be a part of anything they do at home. So we'll be touching more, we'll be dealing with the women, so that hopefully if we manage to correct those things, then we'll get our husbands to be helping more at home. And our lives as couples will be more enjoyable and comfortable. God bless you all. Please share this broadcast. Share it. Click on the thumbs up, leave a comment, and share on your timeline to bless others. God bless you as you do that. And I'll see you on the 30th with episode 4. Goodbye for now.